you were saying earlier that your relatives are making memes about it and all that, right? Are you saying that
Yeah.
to them they're sort of laughing at everything that's going on?
I think it's like, okay, so I would imagine just based, of course, when they come down in a few weeks, so I don't know whether I want to talk about Malaysian politics during my wedding. Probably not, lah. But I
You're
think the
inviting
feeling
a
that
lot of
is there,
problems if you do.
the feeling that I've got from talking to them in the past, because I mean,
Mm,
I see them quite often, or at least once a year.
mm,
It's almost like this is the situation they live with,
mm,
and it's almost expected. And
mm.
the memes, it's almost little bits of respite amongst the generally shitty situation, lah.
Yeah, yeah. Because
Yeah,
I think
that's the feeling. That's the feeling I get. Yeah.
there's I think there's some memes online as well about how the Malaysian ringgit is going to, drop further, like
Mm,
$1 to 4 Malaysian ringgit. But then there are also people saying that, hey, this is not something funny to be made fun of at this moment, lah, right? When the country is
mm,
undergoing a lot of political turmoil and all. So I'm just wondering, like, yeah, like, on the ground, like, how people are feeling about this whole thing. Because I think, if anything, since all the political upheaval in the last few years has just made turned a lot of people off. A lot of Malaysians, young Malaysians, I find, a lot of them have been sort of turned off by everything that's going on, right? In the sense that
yeah.
they're not even caring already, because it's just this giant circus that is happening in front of them, lah. So I also like struggling to see how a situation like this, is inspiring, is inspiring any young Malaysians to, like, be excited about the future or anything like that, in a very bleak economy, in a very bleak global financial situation as well, right?
No, but I mean, it's interesting you say that because it
Mm,
was in July 2019 that the constitution was amended to allow 18-year-olds to 20-year-olds to vote for the first time.
mm, mm,
Like this is the first time people below 21 can vote.
mm,
So as much as if you're a young person, I can imagine thinking like, ugh, why like Malaysia looks like it's a tricky time. It's also the first time that they can vote and actually make a difference.
yeah, maybe.
So yeah, and I mean, even I know just based on anecdotal evidence amongst my extended family, quite a
Mm,
few of them see coming to Singapore to work, or even friends like coming to Singapore to work, as like okay, it's something to aspire to. I'm not saying I'm tooting a horn or anything, but
mm,
that's just based on what I've seen lah. Because even I was just talking to someone that day. He said when he's thinking about his kids in future, does he want to bring them up in Malaysia? Probably not.
mm,
You know.
mm, yeah,
And in Singapore, it's something that okay, if you want to leave Singapore, you want to migrate, it's probably for other reasons. Like it's like the education. There's too much like structure and too much which is like a very different problem lah. But
mm,
you're saying like what the people must be feeling. One thing that this election also like gave rise to is because
mm,
between Anwar and Muhyiddin, Anwar's party is actually multi-ethnic, and
mm.
Muhyiddin's party is more conservative,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So the one thing that I've seen some people point out is that it's the first time that and the an Islamic party,
mm,
um, which like they believe in Sharia law and all,
mm,
became the single biggest block in terms
yeah,
of number of votes.
yeah, yeah,
So one issue with Malaysia from the past, based on talking to my relatives, to friends, and just is the whole Bumi Putras versus what is a Malay Malaysian versus a non-Malay Malaysian.
yep.
So there's
So,
now talk about how if there's a rising conservative sentiment which we have seen in Western countries
yeah,
coming up in Malaysia, for the people who are non-Bumi Putras, non-Malays, that could be a concern lah.
mm. Yeah. I mean, if anything, the election results also show that, yeah, the country is quite divided that way, lah, right? It's
Mm.
in quite similar to a lot of other a lot of other places where the people feel more polarized about basic issues.